at the Rogers Center. Roch Kubatko. Roch, have you learned by now not to tell me anything?
That's the last time I confide in you. My inability to look natural.
Hey, Roch, I tell you who's starting to look natural right now, a natural big leaguer, especially at the plate, and that's Jackson Holliday. He looks better physically. He looks better mentally.
He does, and I don't know how much of it's the weight room or how much of it is we saw him as a 19-year-old kid who's now 21.
Right.
There is that maturation physically. Our bodies changed as well at that age, I'm sure. Maybe not for the better, but they changed.
But mine keeps changing.
His approach, they want him hitting more line drives. They want him using his speed, take the extra base, get the green light, bunt, and don't try to hit home runs. What happens last night, he hits one 425 feet the other way at 109 off the bat, and he said afterward, I was just trying to hit a low line drive in the gap. And that explains why the Orioles want him to have that approach. Because with his power, those home runs will come naturally.
Yeah.
But they want him focusing more on line drives, using the entire field. I think he's going to have a really, really good year.
We saw that, the natural maturation with Manny Machado years ago.
Yes.
Grayson Rodriguez, someone that they're going to rely on, hopefully, in his pitching rotation. What's the status on him?
Yeah, we were watching him yesterday. We were pretty sure it was him because we're way up high in the press box and way down the line. We're actually in Buffalo.
Right.
It's kind of weird they put the press box in Buffalo. But we realized that was him playing catch. He was long tossing, but he was putting a lot behind the ball, too, though. He wasn't just lobbing it. Then he went out to the bullpen, and he told us afterward that he was his second bullpen session. Now, Brandon Hyde explained to us, clarified later, it was actually what you call a short box, which I'd never heard, where the catcher moves up. That was his second one of those. Tomorrow he's going to have a light, full bullpen session, 60 feet 6 inches, and that technically starts the throwing progression that he's going to be on. And then it's like, I bet they'd be thrilled if they got him back early May. I think they'd be really happy with that because he's starting spring training all over again.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to face hitters. He's going to have to go on a rehab assignment. He's not going to make one start and come up. So, but everything's trending in the right direction. He just hasn't said much to us. Every day we go up to him, he says, not today, I'm sorry. It's very polite rejection. I wish girls in high school had been that polite with me when I got rejected.
Yeah, rejection is rejection, Roch. I don't care how you do it. Silent J, Heston Kjerstad in the lineup today, and as a broadcaster, I'm excited, but as a fan, I am, because yet another wave of youngsters for the Orioles to roll out.
It took 3 whole games for him to get in the lineup. People were getting impatient after game 2. Why they buried him on the bench? But they vowed, you saw the quotes in spring training, that he was going to get an opportunity this year. They don't want him on a shuttle. They don't want him going back to AAA. He has nothing to prove. He's going to get plenty at bats. The question is, how do you do that? Well, today he's starting in right field for Tyler O'Neill. Brandon Hyde wanted to go ahead and give T.O., as he's calling him, I guess that's the nickname, give him a rest on turf here, rest his legs. So that's one way to do that. He can DH sometimes, but when there's a right-hander on the mound, usually that's Ryan O'Hearn who's DHing, or in this case, first base today, and they're sitting Ryan Mountcastle. There's not a natural path there for him to get a lot of at-bats, but they still are confident they can do that. They're just going to have to move him around, but he is an extra outfielder. That means he's not a primary starter. He's not going to play 150 games, but they still think they can go ahead and keep him active and involved and see what he can do. It's time now. I mean, he's not a kid anymore.
With a big lead on Thursday, you saw him coming to the game, defensive replacement, made an outstanding throw there from the outfield.
He did. His defense is definitely improving. That was one of the questions of how good it would be. They don't think he's a DH. I think he can play right field, and that was the vision when he was drafted. I remember Michael Lai saying he's going to be playing right field in Camden Yards for a lot of years. And now Anthony Santander's gone, of course, and it's Tyler O'Neill. But they're going to get him opportunities to play. Yeah,
they are. Gunnar Henderson, we heard on opening day that he was getting sent to rehab starts in Norfolk. What's the deal with him right now?
Yeah, he's going to play again today. It went really well last night. Went 1 for 3. I think his single was 105.9 off the bat. Had a nice diving stop of the ball. So he's going to play again tonight. He came through it healthy. And he's eligible to return on April 3rd. The question is, where do you make room for him? I know it's a pleasant problem. It's still a puzzler, though, because we thought initially it was going to be 4 outfielders, 7 infielders breaking camp. Then they signed outfielder Ramon Laureano, and we're like, okay, it's 5 outfielders and 6 infielders. And I said, well, maybe it's because they didn't think Mateo would be ready. He was. Gunnar wasn't. That's how these things, you just never know.
And the scary part about it is you either have Kjerstad going back down when they've fouled to give him at bats,
right,
or someone's getting DFA.
That's it, because Mateo's out of options, Urias is out of options, and they love him at third base. So it's like, how do you make a spot? And Mateo, they love the speed and the energy. He's had trouble hitting consistently over the course of a season, but they're going to have to make some sort of a move, and I would be very surprised if they reduce the number of outfielders. That means there's an infielder who's going to be in jeopardy.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that. Roch, thanks a lot, my friend.
Hey, we made it through without coughing.
Yeah, we both caught chest colds up here in Toronto while you guys celebrate 77 degrees down there in Baltimore.